Few Georgians probably know the name Mary Willis, but her death in the late 1880s would move her father, Dr. Francis T. Willis, to create the first free public library in the state. It also houses something rarely seen outside of a major city. I ventured to the small town of Washington in Wilkes County to check out the historic Queen Anne facility.
Just off the main street in Washington, Georgia, there is a stately old building notable for its Queen Anne style of architecture. Its antiquity sure to catch your eye, but it's what's inside the red brick building that makes its historical importance and uniqueness.
It is the oldest freestanding library in Georgia. It was opened its doors in 1889.
Most libraries at the time charged a fee to be a member, allowing only the wealthy and the well-connected to have access to books.
But when they opened this one up, they decided not to do that. And so, yes, it's known for that.
This was a real change agent at a time when it was a revolutionary thought.
Absolutely, absolutely. The access to books, access to information is important for a community, important for democracy. So the fact that this community and the people, the wealthy people, realized that at that time and wanted to make that available to the public as a whole was a very big plus.
The Mary Willis Library has something else quite remarkable.
This is Tiffany stained glass. A lot of folks come in to see this, just this alone, but the library itself is just so gorgeous. But the middle panel we know is Mary Willis. The right panel is Shakespeare, and the left panel is Homer. We believe that to be Homer. A lot of people ask if this was originally a church, but it was not. It was always built in memory of Mary Willis. And as you can see, these are literary figures, and Mary Willis is in the center.
Catherine Gregory is the library's director.
The library is named after Mary Willis, who was the daughter of Dr. Francis Willis. He grew up in this community, but then he later on moved to Richmond, Virginia. His daughter passed away in her 40s, and he wanted to do something for this community in memory of Mary Willis. He paid for the building of the library, donated $2,000 for the start of the collection, as well as his own library collection.
But it is the Tiffany glass rarely seen outside the major cities of North America and Europe at the time that somehow made its way here that draws so many people to the library.
Since I've been the director here, we've actually had two couples get married in front of the Tiffany stained glass, back kind of to the relation of the church. But again, this was never really a church. It's definitely a piece of history, and the architecture alone is pretty important. The architect that did this library was Edmund Lind.
Up top in the attic are the original wooden boxes that the stained glass panels were shipped in.
For whatever reason, they felt they wanted to keep maybe if something happened and they had to send them back or something, but we still have the crates.
There are other historical pieces at the library too, like a chest believed to have been left by Jefferson Davis as he was dissolving the Confederate government about a block away. It was the end of the Civil War.
This is the Confederate treasure chest. It was donated to the library when it was discovered in the basement of a bank. For the longest time, they couldn't figure out how to unlock this, but a locksmith from Atlanta figured out that it was underneath this area here, and apparently it was a very intricate lock that it required to open it. So it was not actually over there. And so it was a big thing when they first opened it up. There was a big gathering, and everybody was excited to see what was inside of it, and there was nothing inside of it. So the question of whatever happened to the Confederate gold is still a question, ongoing question going on today. Nobody really knows actually what happened to it.
More modern wings were added over the decades, but being a library, the collection of books, many documenting the history of Washington and Wilkes County, are still a big draw.
This is our local history room. It brings in a lot of people from a lot of places that come back to look for their ancestors. It's amazing. I mean, they've come from all over to come to this area. I've had people that come to the state from Alaska looking for their ancestors.
What's your oldest book?
So I've seen them 1850, maybe even as low as 1800.
State and local funding help keep the library operating, and a variety of grants ensure that the preservation of the building's colorful past remains visible for its future generations.
Future of this library seems to be intact, in pretty good shape.
I feel pretty good about it.
Annexes in 1971 and 1999 helped keep the library current as it continues to serve the local community. For Georgia Legends, I'm Jeff Hullinger. Thanks for watching.